In every conversation, there are these invisible forces at play, forces that decide who gets heard and, frankly, who gets ignored. So today, we're going way beyond just words. We're going to map the hidden signals that truly control what things mean. You know the feeling, right? You've been in that conversation where all the words seemed correct, but you walked away with this deep sense of misalignment. Well, that feeling, it's not just a feeling, it's data. And that's exactly where we're going to start. So, our analysis kicks off with a core truth. Every conversation we have is biological long before it's logical. Your body is already deep in conversation before your conscious mind even starts to catch up with the words. Now, here's the foundational mistake most of us make. We believe communication is this simple back and forth of words. We assume we listen, we process the meaning, and then we feel something. But the reality? It's the complete opposite. Just look at how this sequence is flipped on its head. The common view is that words create meaning. But the reality, what the science actually shows us, is that a nonverbal signal creates a feeling first, and only then do we interpret the words through the filter of that feeling. So when the signal and the words don't match up, we always trust the feeling. Okay, so if we're broadcasting these signals before we even speak, where are they coming from? Well, your true intent isn't some single clean broadcast. It leaks. It escapes out through three main channels, and it creates this really consistent pattern. The best way to think about it is like a subconscious operating system that's always running in the background of our interactions. And this system is constantly transmitting data about what's really going on inside us through the face, the voice, and the body, often without our permission. So that first channel is the face. Our brains are just hardwired to process what a face is doing way faster than we can process grammar. A micro-expression, save contempt. It flashes, and it's gone in a fraction of a second. But the feeling it creates in the person who sees it, that lingers, and it colors every single word that comes after. We believe the face before we ever believe this sentence. The second leak is the voice. See, our nervous system doesn't just hear words, it interprets sound as emotional data. You can say the most confident thing in the world, but if you say it with a slight upward inflection at the end, that little vocal question mark, you're broadcasting uncertainty. The words say one thing, but the music of your voice reveals the truth. And the third channel is the body. Long before our minds are debating ideas, our bodies are in a silent negotiation over trust and status. Leaning in? Well, that signals engagement. Leaning away signals resistance. This whole negotiation of physical space is silently defining the real terms of the interaction. So, knowing about these three leaks is one thing, but the real key, the crucial part, is understanding how they're used to control the conversational game. And this is where we shift from just observing to actual strategy. This right here is the fundamental law of communication physics. It's not about who has the better argument. It's not about who has more data. It is all about who establishes the nonverbal frame that all that data and all those arguments get interpreted through. And here's how the mechanics of that actually work. A split-second look of contempt can completely wipe out a verbal yes. A hesitant tone can make a brilliant idea sound totally flimsy. A body that's subtly pulling away creates resistance, no matter how polite the words are. The person whose signals are the most powerful and the most coherent, they set the terms of reality for everyone else in the room. So what happens when you're not aware this game is even being played? What's the cost of focusing only on your words while your signals are off telling a completely different story? Well, the cost is simple. Your words become noise. This quote just nails it. The human brain is, at its core, a contradiction detection machine. When it's faced with mixed signals, your words are saying, I'm confident, but your voice is saying, I'm nervous, the brain doesn't try to average the two. It just throws the words out and focuses entirely on that feeling of something's not right here. And the consequences of that are pretty severe. Your carefully reasoned pitch gets ignored, your sincere apology just doesn't land. You lose your ability to move people because they're subconsciously distracted by the static that your own signals are creating. You're talking, but nobody's really listening. This all brings us to the crucial pivot. How do elite communicators, the leaders, the negotiators, the performers who just consistently hold our attention, how did they approach this differently? Well, they operate with a completely different mindset. You see, the amateur is obsessed with reading other people, trying to decipher their hidden signals. But the professional understands that the only signals they can truly, reliably control are their own. The real leverage comes from managing your own broadcast, not trying to decode someone else's. And here it is. This is the profound mental shift. The amateur is constantly asking, what are they thinking? Which, let's be honest, just leads to anxiety and guesswork. The elite communicator asks a much better question. What are they feeling from me? It's a question about cause and effect. It puts the focus back on what you are transmitting and the emotional reality you're creating for them. So the ultimate skill, the real discipline here, isn't about faking body language. It's about achieving true internal alignment so that your face, your voice, and your body all become natural, authentic extensions of the message you intend to send. That is when communication becomes truly powerful. So, to finish up, let's turn this entire lens back on you. We're going to close with a few diagnostic questions just to help you start mapping the signals in your own world. Think back to your last really important conversation. Was there a fleeting look of disappointment you brushed off? A flicker of doubt in their eyes? Maybe a micro expression you noticed, but then you just dismissed it because their words sounded positive? That missed emotion. That was probably the real message. Now, for a second, ignore the content of what they said. Just forget the words. What did the sound of their voice tell you? Was there a little hesitation behind that yes? Was there exhaustion behind that I'm fine? The tone. That's where the truth lives. And finally, what was their body doing as they were verbally agreeing to your proposal? Were they leaning in, totally engaged and open? Or were they maybe angled, just subtly, toward the door, their body already planning its escape? The body always votes first, and its vote is always honest. Understanding these signals, that means understanding the real conversation happening just beneath the surface.